that's asked me to explain to you exactly what some of the new changes to the benefit systems are. So let's try and do that. Right, David Cameron says it's very simple. And it's very simple. It's very simple. He does not believe that any person should receive more than £26,000 a year to subsidise their housing. He does believe that they should receive £21,000 a year in mortgage payments, because that's what he took in 2008 and 2009. But there's a big difference between 21,000 and 26,000. It's about some thousands. Anyway, Ian Duncan Smith, he said that it's outrageous. Most ordinary taxpayers would think it's outrageous that anyone was earning more than, or taking £26,000 out of the state. Outrageous. And he should know. I mean, he took £97,088 last year in expenses alone. That's in addition to his £64,000 salary. He wouldn't be doing a video in front of a curtain. You'd afford a backdrop for that. Right. I'm getting lost. I mean, some people I've thought it affects all benefits. It doesn't affect all benefits. Some benefits will remain the same, like child benefit. It remains a universal benefit. Everyone will get it. David Cameron, multi-millionaire, will be eligible still for £54 a week in child benefits payments. The only people who won't are poor people who live in large houses in his constituency. Because it's a universal benefit, but it's not necessarily applied universally. Right. The problem is, of course, that housing benefit costs us far too much. Far too much. Rising prices, house prices and rent prices, have driven up the cost of housing benefit. And, you know, when landlords are trying to extort the state by raising their prices for more and more money, the only morally decent response is to make a poor family homeless. Think about it. I mean, people have said, I mean, the fact that we want to take people who are suffering from terminal cancers out of disability living allowance, some people have said is unfair. But it's not. It's not. We can't give disability living allowance to people with terminal cancers because, you know, yachts are very expensive, as are personalised Bibles. They don't buy themselves. I mean, speaking of Michael Gove, I want to say a couple of words about Michael Gove because I think he's a very brave man. He's a very, very brave man. Who could forget when he stood up on Newsnight in the middle of the riots and he said that the riots were an example of rampant criminality. Rampant criminality. And I thought that was brave. Because let's not forget that Michael Gove is a man who once confused one of his houses with another of his houses in order to take £7,000 of the taxpayers' money to which he wasn't entitled. So he knows rampant criminality when he sees it. Just before Christmas there were the strikes. And Michael Gove said that those who wanted them were itching militants. And again I thought, brave, very brave. To even use the word itching in public when his whole face looks like it's made of psoriasis. It's just bobbed up out of the bottle of a bowl of gumbo. Horrible. And now he plans to send a King James Bible to every school in the country. Now we have to do that. We have to do that because of falling standards. Declining standards in basic subjects like maths. Basic subjects like maths, which means that to celebrate the 400th anniversary of something that happened in 1611, we'll be sending out the Bibles in April 2012. And let me tell you another thing. It's not just going to be a King James Bible. He's going to put a special introduction in it. It'll have a special introduction from Michael Gove. You know, why anyone would want a book full of a special message from some whiny, annoying twerp, I don't know. Yeah, so I said it. I said, I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like Jesus. You know? Render unto Caesar's that which is Caesar's. Rubbish! Privatise Caesar! Caesar might have brought us sanitation and roads and aqueducts and weekly crucifixions, but why couldn't a consortium of people led by PricewaterhouseCoopers and 3 ex-cabinet members do even better? Jesus said it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. I choose to believe that he, using his godlike, all-seeing nature, probably foresaw the invention of the blender and the funnel and the camel smoothie. Why should we listen to Jesus? He used to hang around with tax collectors and prostitutes. That's George Osborne's job. People have been really down on Ian Duncan Smith and all of his workfare programmes, including those, which let people work at Poundland for no money ever since he announced them. I mean, he made the mistake of saying at that point, at that press conference, work helps you be free, which some people pointed out was similar to the motto that was over the door at Auschwitz. Arbeit macht frei. But that says makes free. That said work makes you free. We said work helps you be free. Makes and helps. Makes and helps. There's a big difference between makes and helps. The Nazis made people do slave labour in camps. We will help them too. Well, what's wrong with it anyway? I mean, they had some good ideas about lots of things. We need innovative thinking on benefits. I sometimes go down to my local park and I round up the homeless and I bring them back to my home and I bring them in to my Lebensraum, my living room, into my living room, and I say, why not do some decorating? We could start over there, or over there, or up there. and it's very funny because some of them have drug problems, and if you bring in any food, the ones who are Heil Hitler, and the ones who are Heil Hitler, the ones who are high will Hitler. There's nothing wrong with being a fascist. There's nothing wrong with being a fascist. Lord Lucan was a fascist. Lord Aspinall was a fascist. Judy Finnegan's a fascist. Britain has a long tradition of recreational Nazism. The reasons for these benefit cuts is clear. David Cameron said, we have to reward the people who do the right thing by not claiming benefits and punish those who do the wrong thing by getting made redundant, or falling ill, or having a carer die. I hate them. Right, see you next time.